There's an organic shortening that's made out of palm oil, which is coconut type plant, and it's naturally hydrogenated, and it's great. On the other end of it, sometimes you'll find lard, and it's artificially hydrogenated lard. So you have to watch out for some things if you're going shopping that way. So I've got my parents finally using some good fats to fry in, and they're losing weight. And my mom's fibromyalgia is going away. So you can see over time what happens when you start to make better food choices. The body responds, not just with weight loss, but also with weight loss, which is excellent. So do you want to, can we do some mineral testing? Yeah, sure. So she emailed me, can I tell people what's,
Yes.
It's not huge, it's funny. She had a cramp when she was exercising. And she's like, what do I do? And I was like, well, come in. It's probably magnesium, but come in and I'll do a minerals test on your calf to see what's going on. And she wasn't able to come in that day, and so I thought, oh, I could show everybody. So just bring your chair up here and sit down.
What was like it's fun?
We're not gonna cause a cramp, but we're gonna test it.
You want me to sit?
You're gonna sit.
I feel like I should explain those. Like, you know, it wasn't just exercising for 10 minutes.
So this is called Lowenberg sign, and this is something that I do to all of the folks that come into my office, and they say, not that she's constipated, I'm not saying that, but I'm constipated, that's a big one. I can't sleep that well at night. And I say, oh, did you have growing pains when you were a kid? Did you have growing pains when you were a kid? Awesome. That's a sign of mineral deficiency. Do you have any bone spurs or any type of stress fracture? Do you sprain or strain easily? You're gonna break? Awesome. Let me see your fingernails. Beautiful fingernails. So that right there is a little bit. There's one little thing I can see, but there's no ridges on her nails. They're smooth. They look good. There's just one little bitty white spot, which is the sign of maybe something's going on. But in general, it looks great. Do they grow fast? Awesome.
What are ridges?
It could be a deficiency. Thanks for volunteering to be my guinea pig.
But I haven't taken magnesium since I even started wondering about it.
You have. Okay, yeah, I know affected. It may just be that. Okay, so if we were going to get a cramp, would it be right in there? Okay. So all I'm doing is putting my blood pressure cuff on the belly of her calf. Y'all kind of know what I'm saying with belly? So I have had men in my office from the triathlete club, won't name names, and I say to them, I'm going to pump this up, and if you get the feeling that you're going to have a cramp,
I'll tell you to stop.
tell me to stop. And they're sitting there and they're like this. And I can see the calf is just going crazy, and I'm like, are you having a cramp? And they're like, just tell me, it's okay. You don't have. And I had one football player, and he was just like, and I was like, just let me know, we're gonna fix it. Okay, so I'm just testing the efficiency of her muscles, which equals her mineral balance. Does that make sense to you guys? Our muscles fire off electrical impulses that go back and forth between our nerves, which run off of fat. It's our myelin sheath, pure fat and cholesterol, and minerals. Okay? So let's see. I'm going to go slow, okay? And you just tell me any little change that you feel.
Well, I can feel it, but it's not.
Okay. It's going to get tight. But I don't want it to get like tight.
It's definitely tight, but I don't know.
You okay? And just tell me if you're getting cramp.
No, she's very tight though.
She's doing great. Still okay?
That's tight.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your
that
past-
feels like something right.
But you're fantastic.
Okay.
Does anybody else want to try it? Why don't you come up here? Try it.
Oh, good.
So you did great, but you've been taking magnesium.
I did. I've taken it twice.
And you haven't had a cramp since then. So good. That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah, I can't test you on anything about this.
Okay. I'll get a different chair. Is there one? Yes.
Okay.
I've never had that.
We're moms. When I was in school, my teacher, he taught us this the first day that he taught us whatever, and he said, now listen, idiots, don't go home and mess around with this too much. Like, you know, you need to learn about it more, because subsequent classes or previous classes had gone home and it had been like a party trick, and they would get together and play with it, and then make each other eat something and then play with it, which is basically, if you cramp, I'm gonna little neural test you and you'll see what I'm talking about, but they had like cramped each other, and he was like, don't do that, you know? Let me do this on that.
That is awesome.
It was a really fun school.
There was quite some different things that people said.
Everybody.
I got all different kinds of advice, and not 1% person like we did. So that's, you know what, that's what that trainer really, they also potassium.
It could be potassium too.
I eat bananas.
Avocado is actually the highest food in potassium.
Or bone broth.
That's okay. You don't have to hide that.
No, I mean, I'm eating all that.
You know what's really good? Avocado.
Yeah,
But don't tell me
egg,
like
or
I
sprouted sourdough.
It's great. It's good for you.
That's my mid-morning snack. Half avocado with sea salt.
You're hungry, I can tell that.
You know what? I had lunch at 11:30 and I haven't had some of these yet. I've been to hospital. And I avoided all the snack tables.
They're gonna know you.
They do
Gonna
know.
see your cup.
I broke my cup. I hope not. If not, I'll do another cup.
That would be a try.
Do you get cramps too in your cup?
Well, just recently.
Who gets cramps? At
Oh,
night. Who drinks coffee?
Oh, I hate that. You're out of the blue. Yes.
Who gets cramps and doesn't drink coffee?
You stop. I'm not giving that up.
Okay, let's
I've given up everything else. I'm done.
what foods?
What foods? You know, the best source that you can get is really good dairy. Black-eyed peas are super high in magnesium. Seaweed is super high in magnesium. Okay, let me see. I don't know. Oh my god. Oh, here we go. Okay. You just tell me if you feel that little feeling before. I want you to give me that cramp face. It's starting to cramp? Okay. It's like, would you please stop? Okay. Okay, so we're going to get to tester. Okay, so this is what I do in my office with somebody. The first thing I think is what was the first class one? Digestion. And I'm thinking maybe something's going on with her digestion, because with 90% of the population of the world, something is not right in their guts. So the first thing I would test her on is a little bit of a digestive aid. Is that okay? Sure. Okay. So this is called lingual neural testing, mouth-brain testing. So your body is wired so that if you put something in your mouth, this is cool, I should have talked about this earlier. If you put something in your mouth, your neurology responds immediately to what you taste, which is why, really, you should taste all of your supplements and medication. You were built that way, not to just swallow something. And a good doc or a good chiropractor, the ones I studied with, they made you chew up your supplements. Oh, barf, but you know what? They work. You have gum in your mouth? I'm like, just put it in my hand.
Yeah, see, we're moms. Put it out. So,
It's true. Yeah. Okay, so I want you to use half of this water to rinse your mouth out from the gum,
okay.
and then save the other half. I'm not going to give you something that's gross, but it's sour.
Okay.
So what I'm giving her is hydrochloric acid, which is what the bitters signal the brain to signal the stomach to make. before you eat, and it makes the stomach acidic, which it needs to be before you eat. But that's why I'm telling you all to take bitters. I can't tell you as a whole class to take hydrochloric acid, even though I'd like to, because if somebody has any history of ulcers,
No.
any history of colitis or dysbiosis or H. pylori or anything like that, I can't ask all of you that, and really go through a history. So bitters will signal your brain to make as much HCl as you need. Okay, so just do that. It's really salivating. It's sour. Just think of a sweet tart without the sweet. But it made it better.
No, it didn't have.
No?
So you just leave it on
So
the
just
top?
taste it for about 15 seconds.
What's HDL?
HCl is hydrochloric acid HCl. You okay? Okay.
We need to
So-
get productions
Now, are you gonna puke or you? Okay. The girl did puke in my office today. I gave her a liver support and it was so bitter, she looked at me and her eyes kind of got big and she just. Okay, so this is calcium, magnesium, and potassium. It's gonna taste chalky and salty. Just chew it.
Maybe that was recorded.
And it's not feeling like you said. So I got her stomach working really well with hydrochloric acid. We kind of turned it on, and then I gave her a really good mineral to chew up. It usually helps cravings. So let's see what happens. You okay? Just keep that taste in your mouth. Okay, so her mouth has told her brain we have this digestive support in these minerals. Let's see. Maybe it'll help. Maybe it won't. I'm gonna use another hand just in case. How you doing? Right there? Okay. So she's 80 points higher than she was before.
Isn't that wild?
That's your body. That's why whatever you eat, it affects you. And that's proof of it right there. Can I try one more thing on you? Sure.
So if she were to get
We're proving that, look, I'm not saying you have to take, I'm not a big supplement pusher. I had a friend that became a farmer rep and she was like, I just paid for my first condo, and she's like, and I was like, hear that? Okay, so chew that. It's for your adrenals. But I would tell her to definitely take bitters before meals and to eat really mineral-rich food, like to start having seaweed. Are you okay? Your toe.
So when I get cramps, I take Tums.
No.
It
Tums.
works?
If I could put Tums on a spaceship and put it out into space, I would do it.
Okay.
And let me explain it to you after I
Is it
test
because it
it.
has magnesium in it that makes the cramp go away?
But you can't assimilate it.
Okay. Well, just, yeah.
Let me tell you after I do this to her, because she's about to die. It's a lot of vitamins.
Okay, so we're going to
And I
She said
told
B,
her,
but she said B12, I'm lung B12. Oh, yeah, I can feel that.
okay. So she got about 2 points higher that time. But you, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, drink your water.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let me tell you about Tums. Tums with magnesium, I mean, it's incredible. So, the reason I gave her that hydrochloric acid in the beginning was to get her neurology turned on in relation to her digestion, which hydrochloric acid, your body, I think it's about 2 liters a day that it produces. Like a quart. 2 quarts of hydrochloric acid a day is about how much you need to digest all your food. That's an incredible amount of water and hydrochloric acid. Especially to digest a mineral, you need a really acidic stomach full of hydrochloric acid, because what is a mineral really? It's a rock. There are some minerals that are plant derived, they're really high quality, and that's excellent. But in general, if you're just eating food, you're eating like a rock derivative, and that's where you're getting your minerals from. Like bone broth is kind of a rock derivative. You're just boiling that bone enough to get the minerals out. Tums